Welcome to Clackamas Community College. I'm Ryan Davis and I'm a full-time instructor in the English department here on campus. I'm here today to talk to you about plagiarism. This is a very serious issue when it comes to writing here at the college level or anywhere. Plagiarism is the unintentional, but sometimes intentional, misuse of someone else's words, ideas, thoughts, or designs. There are a few things you need to know about plagiarism to make sure you're successful as a college writer. There are three things that you never need to account for when you're writing. And by account, I mean give credit to in the proper way. The first thing you don't need to worry about is common knowledge. If anyone just like yourself knows something, you don't need to cite that source. Citing a source is naming the person or the place or the organization or the publication the information was found. The second thing you don't need to cite is information that is found in a wide variety of sources, like dictionaries, encyclopedias, school websites, organization information. The third thing you don't need to cite is information that you yourself have created. Oftentimes, students write a paper in one class and then want to use that information in another class. You never have to cite yourself. You're still the author of the original idea. You're just carrying it forward. Now, when it comes to information you do need to cite, it's very important that you follow the proper guidelines. There are 4 things that you need to remember to always cite to avoid plagiarizing. When it comes to college, when it comes to writing, when it comes to becoming an intellectual, you have to make sure that you give proper credit to ideas where credit is due. It's like walking into a store. You can't grab a candy bar and run. In college, you can't walk into a library and grab information, run out, and call it your own. You want to make sure that you give the author or authors their due. The first thing you must cite is any direct quotation. You have to borrow the exact words in the exact order, keeping the exact tone and context of the original presentation of ideas. You have to place those in quotation marks, and you obviously have to give the author his or her credit. The second piece of information you must always cite is any summary or paraphrase, even though it's in your own words, that borrows ideas or information from another source. Just because you change the author's words to your own doesn't mean you don't have to give them credit. The third thing you want to be sure to cite is any arguable assertion. An assertion is really just a strongly held opinion. It might be scientific, it might be philosophical, it might be based on literature or history, but you want to make sure that you give credit to the original person, because if their assertion is not valid, you don't want to be mistakenly held accountable for that. The fourth thing that you always must cite is any graph, table, chart, picture, drawing, any visual, any song, any line of dialogue from a movie. If you didn't create that information yourself, you always want to cite that source. This is a tricky one because sometimes you look at a pie chart and you think, well, that information's just floating out there. It belongs to all the people that created the information. Someone created the chart. I'll just borrow it. But even if you yourself stand in the middle of campus, take a survey, talk to 100 people, those ideas from the 100 people belong to them. You might put it in a chart, but it still belongs to the original people that had the ideas, so you would want to cite your source as a poll taken at Clackamas on July 5th. If you keep these ideas in mind, and you always give credit where credit is due, you'll never be accused of plagiarism, which at the college level is a very serious accusation. You never want to cheat by borrowing other people's ideas without their permission, and citing your sources by naming the author or the publication it appeared in. Always make sure that you are moving towards your goals in a proper, clear, and intellectually based manner. Thank you.